Hey guys, this is Rick coming at you with Weed to No Basis, the podcast for all things cannabis business related. Are you an entrepreneur? Have something you wanted to create, something you wanted to bring to life in the cannabis industry? Maybe you've always wanted to partake in one of the biggest industries in modern day history. This is the podcast to listen to. Hey guys, welcome back. So you're tuned in to Weed to No Basis because you likely are on a Weed to No Basis. So today we're going to talk about, it's just a business topic. This is the business of cannabis, and this is Business 101. So today we're going to share one of the fundamental elements of ideating, launching, scaling your business. And I'm going to talk about MVP. Now, I'm not referring to MVP like most valuable player like in traditional sports. I'm talking about business MVP, and what that means is your minimal viable product. Put another way is this. You likely have had some fantastic idea for a cannabis startup. Now, when I say cannabis, guys, I'm referring to the hemp, CBD, and marijuana side and everything that encompasses. I bet you have a great idea for a company, for a startup, and it might be revolutionary, at least in our minds. It always is, and that's a good thing because we have to be confident in what we're ideating. We have to believe that there's something to it. Ideas, guys, are a dime a dozen. That's just the fact. Everybody has an idea. Only a certain amount, a minutia, a fragment, a percentage of all of those ideas will ever take an action. Think about that. If there's 100 ideas right now floating in this room, maybe one or two of those ideators will ever take the first step. We're not talking about the first step today. What we're going to talk about is when you take that first step, what should you be thinking about doing so that you minimize or mitigate your chances of failure? And that's where the MVP comes in, the minimal viable product, whether you have a product or a service-based idea or startup. Make sense so far? You see, because if you have a product-based idea, maybe it's an iPhone cover or some new wristband, hemp wristband, or whatever that, maybe it's an e-course, then you eventually will likely have a service attached to it. If you have a service-based idea, you will likely at some point, at least you should be thinking about what kind of product can you attach to it. But even before that, you see, because one of the things we've heard, and there's even a movie about a quote, is build it and they will come. That's a lie. It's a fallacy, especially when we're talking about a real business where you are going to put your heart, your soul, your blood, sweat, tears, and resources. By resources, I mean your time. I mean your money. I mean whatever it's going to take for you to develop that thing. So the MVP, that's where the MVP comes in. Guys, and we talk about this in depth in our program on greenseedcannabisco.com. Just to be clear, we dissect this and walk you through how to actually produce this. But the MVP is this, guys. It's simply, you might have an idea for it. Let's go with the simple hemp bracelet, okay? Just for the sake of the conversation. And most people will do this. Generally speaking, they're like, let me go find somebody in China or in Oregon who can produce me 10,000 of these hemp bracelets. And I can get a really good price. I'm going to get them for $1 a piece, and I'm going to sell them for $2. So my margin is $2 of $1, and then I know what my costs are. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to launch a website, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to have the best idea ever because nobody has produced a hemp bracelet like this. See, at its essence, guys, it's exciting. It's exciting. It is. But here's the thing. What if nobody wants it? What if nobody wants it? What if nobody wants your thing? And you have now maybe purchased 10,000 of these. And hey, let's be real. Maybe you've also built a $4,000 website. Let's get really real. Maybe you've also incorporated, you've started your LLC, or you've contacted your CPA. Let's get really real here, guys. Let's say you've involved your spouse, or let's get really, really real. Maybe you even quit your job. Why? Why? Didn't anybody ever tell you about an MVP? Probably not. That's why we exist. See, guys, what we want to do is help you take that idea, maybe even before you create something, and go validate it. Maybe it's a matter of paying a little bit more for that bracelet. Again, guys, this is a very facetious example. Maybe it's, I'm okay only buying 20 of these and buying them for and selling them for cost, but at least I'm going to be able to go out there into the marketplace and see if somebody will actually buy it. That could mean several things. That could mean you buy, say, 20 of these and set up at some farmer's market or go to a mall or walk around or contact people on your list, maybe on your Facebook page, maybe Instagram, and say, I've got these things for sale. How many of you will buy one? And then see how many people actually buy one. I mean, seriously, if you sell all 20 of these out like in lickety-split time, you might be onto something. Guys, simply put, the MVP is a way to validate and test your idea before you blast it out. Let me reframe it. There's a great book out there, one of my most favorite business books. It's Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's timeless. Some of the lessons in that book, they apply to any industry. So Jim Collins, Good to Great, he talks about bullets before cannonballs. And what that means is this, guys, is let's say you have a bunch of bullets on your boat and you have 2 cannonballs. A lot of entrepreneurs, they go right for the cannonball. They lock and load and blast it out. And if you miss once, you got one more shot. If you miss twice, you're dead in the water. The bullets before cannonballs simply means this, as related to the MVP and validating your idea, is make those small shots. See what I'm saying? Because you can take those small shots and a lot of them are likely going to miss the mark. But 1 or 2 of them are going to be in that target, if you will. Let's just say 3 of them. 1 of them is going to be very close to the bullseye. You following me? So you take those bullet shots and you see which ones get close to the mark. Maybe that's sales, maybe that's validation, maybe that's a number of people who say, yes, I want that, whatever that is. And then once you see and you feel that one that hits very close to the bullseye, that's when you bring out the cannonball. It's not the other way around. You see, build it and they will come, guys, is a fallacy. MVP means how to take your idea, product or service, build some sort of minimal viable product. Instead of building an entire app, build a small prototype. Instead of buying 20,000 bracelets, invest in 20. Instead of building that huge 40K website, go to Wix. Do something really simple. See if people actually want it, because in our minds as entrepreneurs, we know that everybody wants our idea until the day they don't. Guys, I've fallen prey to this myself. I'm not just saying this because I read this in a book. I'm saying this because I've launched companies. We have. My wife and I, our group, and we believe that this was the greatest thing since sliced bread until the day that nobody stood in line to buy that bread. See what I'm saying? Guys, this is part of understanding the business of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is more than just hustle and grind, get out there, and if you work hard enough, you're going to make it. It's having something that actually solves a problem that people want. Guys, your idea could very well be great. I'm going to compel you guys to think about this video. Think about the topic of developing something that's simple, that's easy to deploy, where you can test it in the real marketplace with your real customers. In fact, guys, you're going to start collecting customer buying data by virtue of people who say no and people who say yes. You might, by developing your MVP, realize that that 50-year-old Ironman athlete, male, who has 4 kids and a wife, really isn't your target market. You may find that by developing a really simplified MVP, that your target audience is 18-year-old females. I'm serious. There's a lot more to and a lot more learned by developing that MVP, minimal viable product. Google it, guys. Google it. And if you're ready to take the next step, if you're thinking, I really want to explore this. I really want to make sure that I set myself up for success, guys. I'm going to shamelessly pitch and let you know, guys, if you don't believe in what your product or service is, you shouldn't be in business. Guys, Green Seed Cannabis Co. is the place for you to be. Totally serious, totally frank, totally honest with you. It's not for everybody. It's only for the people who want success in the cannabis industry as a startup entrepreneur. That's what we got. Check those things out, guys. 2 things. Google MVP as related to startups, minimal viable product. If you're ready to take the next step, guys, we're here. Honestly, leave some comments below. If you're on YouTube, leave comments. You can also hit us up on Instagram. Me personally, it's @PlanetBoy. Or you can go to Weed to No Basis. Both Instagram pages, guys. Either way, we're here to help. We're here to help you succeed in a real, authentic, transparent way. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, you're watching this or listening to this because you too are on a Weed to No Basis. Peace.